Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the speech of hate. I'm Rita and today it's all about you. The hate speech is any kind of communication form, speech, right, or behavior that really attacks or use discriminatory language in a reference to a person or a group of people and have the basis of what these people are. In other words, hate speech is a public speech that expresses hate and may encourage violence toward a person or a group of people based on race, religion, sex, or sexual orientation. In many countries, the deliberate use of hate speech is a criminal offense and is punished under the proper legislation. Usually, the use of obscenity and blasphemy are also considered offenses and can be punished by law. So, for instance, in a historical way, the denial of Holocaust is outlawed in Europe as a form of respect to the victims. In the UK, the increment of the racial hatred is actually an offense to public order, and in Canada, advocating genocide or any kind of other incitation to hate toward someone or toward a group of people is a serious offense punished by law. In a more practical and psychological way, we can say that the speech of hate or the hate speech is something that really have consequences in most of the countries around the world. But this is an expression of something or some facts that people believe that they are not true or not worth it to live in our society. So this is something that a group of people think about other people or about a fact that really affects the society in general. Many groups or many people really believe that ending this kind of behavior attends to freedom of speech. So these people really believe that we all have the right to say whatever we think and whatever we want to other people or to other group of people. For them, controlling this kind of speech, it's also an attempt to control thoughts of individuals, and the result may be even more acts of rebellion and violence. Hate speech in this matter should be something that should be able to be discussed in a public way and not by law enforcement. The idea of ending the hate speech is something that is very used by politicals, particularly in a political campaign, with economical purposes by many different countries around the world. So here we are not really standing for any kind of hate of speech. We are just telling the facts of what the different kind of groups believe about this thing and the general idea of hate speech. So here we have clearly two big discussions about what is acceptable to say in a public way and what is not. And these ideas differ a lot in different groups, in different countries, in different cultures, and in different kind of people in general. For instance, homosexuality may be seen as immorality for a religious group, but for others are just expression of emotions and of the self in a more free way. So, if some group may eventually feel the moral values attacked, other kind of people and other groups defend the expression of freedom. And this is very important for us to understand the psychology behind all of these different kind of expressions and behaves and beliefs in the different kind of group and in the different kind of people. Nowadays, and particularly in the US, the freedom of speech is something that it's very important, and is something that even is in the constitution of the country. And this social, political and economical fact really overlaps even the hate of speech. It's valid the idea that everybody should really be able to express themselves, but it is still freedom when you step on top of others, instigate fear and violence. Isn't hate speech the borderline of the modern democracy? Without entering any kind of political or economical opinion or side or whatever you want to call, I believe that the only thing that can really solve this problem nowadays is empathy. Only empathy can really help humanity nowadays realize that any group of people will always have their own thoughts, their own ideas, their own way of thinking, and this fact will just make us be a little bit more open-minded to understand and to really think how other people can be different from us and respect these facts. So be open-minded and more inclusive. It's possible for all of us to live in a much more healthier and peaceful environment. And this kind of separation and this kind of make other people feeling guilt because they think in a different way or behave in a different way or have different ways of seeing the different aspects of life. This really happens nowadays all over the world, in any place and everywhere, with lots of different groups of people. The spread of speech of hate is such, and it's so present in our daily life everywhere, that even on internet everybody is suffering from it. So a tool that we should all be thankful to have it, because it makes us feel more close to each other, it makes us feel that we can have more information, that we can have more knowledge, is something that it's also spread hate and bad ways of interpretate the things that we should be all be aware that are just information, and we always have the choice to just not really give our attention to the things that we don't want or that we don't believe. But on internet, the common arguments are the explosion and the freedom of being what you want to be. So it's at the same time a mask that people are using in a very wrong way. So if you judge others because you care about living in a better world, and if you really care about your and everybody's freedom, maybe it's good if all of us try to be a little bit more empathic toward all the things that are different from our standards, from our beliefs, from our cultures, from what we take as granted. Try to have healthy discussions before you judge somebody or some idea, and leave an opinion and give your opinion, but not your hate. You don't know the other people, the other person, and probably you don't want to cause any kind of problem, because most of the times this kind of speech of hate can bring consequences really serious and strong for everybody that is involved. And remember, you always have the option to just ignore that comment, or to just not really follow a person, or just search for another kind of information, search for other kind of things that you like, and just to try to ignore, because actually nobody says that it's mandatory for you to hear this kind of group of people and this kind of people with ideas that you don't really agree. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up, share with a friend, comment if you want, and next time we'll be talking about a good co-parenting in divorce. So I'll see you then. Bye!